February air, a winter's hush, a different kind of love, a sacred rush. For the roses is all the fleeting glance, before the scales and a fighting chance. We're the phoenix nesters watching from the wire, seeing shadows fall, fueling the fire. Every story buried, every silent tear becomes a promise whispered, conquering the fear. Oh, Lady Justice, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. We're turning the pages, breaking all the locks. This is our true crime, resetting all the clocks. They sold you a story, a neatly packaged lie, but the threads are unraveling under a watchful sky. From the cold case files to the digital trace, we're finding a heartbeat in this forgotten space. Oh, Lady Taro space, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. Return the pages, breaking all the locks. This is a true crime, resetting all the clocks. From the ashes of silence, a new day is born. For every lost soul, a promise is sworn. The blindfold is lifted, steady and slow. A garden of justice is starting to grow. A shift to arise, pure justice. A shift to rise, Lady Justice. Setting clocks.
Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Fair game is fair game for the public to hear. I think we are all here and we want to hear exactly what happened in the IDAHO4 case. But before we get into it, I wanted to bring you a real quick update. I went on live last night at a special, and I'm telling you, I am able to now confirm what I was told yesterday, that a false imposter was arrested by the FBI who tried to profit off Nancy Guthrie's disappearance with a bogus ransom that was sent to the news station. Now, I knew this yesterday, but I was waiting for it to become public and not look like a total ass. Hey, this is Phoenix. Welcome to my stream. If you've never seen my stream before, this might not be for you, but if you are open-minded, if you are questioning the narrative, if you rise above the assumptions, then every question is going to matter. Every angle here is welcome. If this sounds like you, welcome home. Come on in, grab a cup of coffee, tea, whatever, and we're going to dive into it. So yeah, get that. How could that even be possible? Because this was sent to a news station, And I said right away, that doesn't sound right. I called a friend down there and he basically told me it's bogus. Just wait for the public statement to come out. The FBI has made an arrest related to an imposter ransom demand involving Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's mother. Police believe Nancy Guthrie was taken from her home. I showed you a little bit about that area last night, and that was 5 days ago. So, what do you guys think about that? Drop a few comments. So yeah, I think it is weird. I think it's really weird. And, we don't know where she is, but let me give you this little tidbit of information that I do know. Now, contrary to popular belief, there was something that the family had said, and I don't remember if it was the media. I can't remember. Oh, I should have wrote it down. So someone said that she may have a pacemaker. She had some heart issues. So yes, she does have a pacemaker. I just looked it up. And here's the thing. It says unconfirmed media reports said she had a pacemaker. Now, I don't have a freaking subscription to this, but it disconnected from her Apple device early February 1st, which wouldn't affect the functioning of the unit. But even if that unit is sending a signal, don't you think that they would be able to track her by her pacemaker? Or is this something that they want to now be able to track everybody's medical internal health devices? I mean, this is something that really got to me. And I thought, well, if they can ping her pacemaker in a general area, if it has Bluetooth, then why couldn't they ping it and get in the general area of where she may be? That was my thought process, with a little bit of background in technology and also a little bit of background in pacemakers. But I am wondering where she could be and if they could use that. Absolutely, they should be able to track her from her medical device. It should ping off of any Bluetooth device or signal or cell. Or I mean, if you're in the store and your phone is left in your car and immediately you have an emergency on your pacemaker, they should be able to track it. They should be. And it is strange. They should have put out a silver alert. They should have, depending on what kind of maker. Absolutely. Absolutely. If it was a modern day pacemaker, I agree. So I just wanted to go ahead and give you that update. If you missed my live last night on that special, go ahead and go look. I gave you some background information. It was really interesting. Someone said that there was a certain suspect already named, which Pima County doesn't mess around, folks. They are pretty pissed off about the media being everywhere. They are, if you've not seen any real footage, it's wild out there, folks. It's like the wild, wild west. So, what do I want to talk about today? Well, I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to thank my mods for being here. I want to tell you how much I really appreciate you showing up. I see some OGs in the house. You know who you are. Becca, Dina, Brenda, welcome in. Hey, Karen. Hey, Sarah. Making Chevy square again. I love that. Jen, Tilted, no talking before coffee. Holly, I like that Tilted Halo Detective. I love your name. Cat's Girl, welcome in. Dina, Becca, Donna Rosa. I don't know how we missed this. This is the title of today's live. I'm still talking about the IDAHO4. I will not stop talking about it until we see some movement. I have a black screen that says this cannot be displayed in the background. No, I don't see that. And I'm watching from my other device, so I know my audio is loud and clear, and I know I can see myself. So you're having problems on your end. I am so sorry. I hope that repairs immediately. Yes, absolutely. We're bringing you facts and evidence hardcore. So, I like to start my streams off with something fun, and this may not be fun. This may be a serious, uh, what do I want to say? A serious vibe of a live. There is a video that I took off of TikTok, and I want to give credit to where credit's due, but I can't remember her name. She's a simple old lady, but listen to what she has
haven't
to
talked
say.
about here until now is that for the last year and a half, I was a federal grand juror. That means that I went once a month and sat on a grand jury and heard all kinds of cases. Now, of course, I'm still bound not to tell you any specifics about those cases. But I do want to tell you this. I think that there are a lot of you out there who look at some of the stuff in the Epstein file releases and you say, there's no way this happened. This is not a real thing. This is a figment of someone's imagination, but I want to tell you, that stuff does happen. On more than one occasion, when I left the grand jury, I was physically sick from the things that I had to hear while I was there. And there are memories of some of those things that will always be with me. There are people in the world that are this depraved. There are people in the world that hurt children. There are people in the world that are just wired so screwed up or had so much trauma. I don't know what causes these things, but for whatever reason, they are capable. Maybe they're just soulless, and you can do with that information what you want to. But I just want to tell you that these things really do happen. There's nothing that I have read in the Epstein files that is that far-fetched to me.
Yeah, I would agree. So, I mean, I want you to keep in mind, I came across it, I video recorded it. I don't know what her name is, but if you see it, tag me. I want to say, God, I looked everywhere. I even looked at top videos. I don't see this lady anywhere, but it was yesterday evening. I just happened to come across her video. It's a little bit more viral now, but I know some of you like me. I was wondering why she has a paperclip on her collar. And I actually had to go down that rabbit hole and go look it up. I've never seen this before. I agree with her. There are things I've seen in the military that would blow your mind. I don't talk about it very much, but when I do, it's a handful, I'll tell you. So this paperclip on her collar was actually in World War II. There was actually teachers, the Norwegian teachers and students wore paperclips to signal their opposition to the Nazi occupation. And they attached them to their lapels and they wore them as jewelry, like a symbol of solidarity, binding them together as paperclips did with papers. It was a quiet act of defiance, and basically they were united in this way. So when you see that, now you know that. And if you knew that, you are way intelligent. So I wanted to get into this because I see there's no solidarity in this Idaho 4. And when I say that, I really mean it, because the families weren't together with this. Obviously, there's a rift and there's some civil discourse. And we see it on a day-to-day basis. We see it within the creators. We see it on TV. But let me tell you, when I say this blew my mind, how did we miss it? I think it's really important to look at the details in the beginning. So let's rewind it. Let's go a little back to the beginning. And I'm going to start with a very simple narration of a secondhand officer that walked into 1122 King Road on the morning of November 13th, 2022, that horrible day when unfortunately 4 individuals lost their lives. And what in this MPD statement did he give us? He gave us a simple narrative, y'all, and I'm going to show you in the actual documents myself. Let me pop them up here on the stage, and I'm going to share that with you so we could read this in full. But the highlighted version is the one that I put up on the video. And here we go. Down the rabbit hole we go. Now, in this narrative, it was Eric Warner. And if you remember, Eric Warner is this gentleman who's walking around the crime scene, and he is the one that basically takes the statement and says, in response to clearing the home, interview with Hunter Johnson, HJ, WatchGuard felony event, additional responders who were all there and on scene, and the case was added to WatchGuard. That is their little cameras that they carry around on their uniforms. Here was his narrative. And this is a freaking kicker. On 11/13/2022, at approximately 11:58 hours, I responded to a report of an unconscious person. Unconscious. Dispatch, who takes the 911 calls, advised a female was passed out from intoxication and not waking up. Okay? Now, perhaps that is one call. I'm just only going to suggest and speculate because he is on his little radio. Dispatch advised there was a female passed out. He's on his way there. And then all of a sudden, dispatch advises there was a male seen in the room with the female last night. What? Was there another 911 call? Who gave them this information? Was that something that we just all glanced over and overlooked, thinking, oh, that male was Ethan? How do we know that male was not Ethan? Was it a different male? Because then later, dispatch advised again, the third time, that a female was not conscious and not breathing. What the frick? What? So then he goes on to say, and we know this is true, and this lines up, and this is how you debunk, or this is how you confirm. Watch this. Hunter's to the left.
Okay. Nobody's allowed to leave.
Oh, that's Nunes. Sorry, he's not down yet.
Just stay here for me, please.
Okay. Now, get this. This is a first-hand account. Dispatched advised there was a male seen in the room with the female last night. Somebody had to have told dispatch this. Dispatch didn't make this up. There were 3 updates. Dispatch advised a female was passed out from intoxication and not waking up. Was that Maddie? Was that Maddie? Was it Xana? Okay, so I went back to the autopsy reports and I thought, well, let's see who had more blood alcohol in their body. Just out of curiosity. Nothing morbid, just curiosity. Okay, I thought they said they only saw Xana. No, they said there was a man in the house. They said he was seen in the room with the female last night. So it had to have been somebody that knew them. Okay? Somebody knew them in that room. Somebody saw them. First-hand account. First-hand witness. And who called in the 911? Let's get to that, since I have it up on my screen. Who was the complainant in the 911 call? That was Bethany. That was Bethany Funk. She has exculpatory evidence. That is the evidence, I do believe, folks. Dun, dun, dun. There's a Phoenix fireball for you. Think about it. if Bethany got in writing that she would never be arrested in Idaho, and she got the golden ticket, and also Dylan said that she would become a witness and testify to what the prosecution kind of, in my humble opinion, coached her to. Dylan's protected too. They're both protected. Okay, how did we even miss this? I think we were so far into the weeds, it's been in front of us all along. Bethany Funk was the complainant in the 911 call. You go back to the documents and it will show you this. So who was toxicology? Hold on, that's where I was at. Who was more inebriated of all four of them? Anybody want to take a guess? Drop it below. Yep, there's that fireball, guys. Who wants to take a guess? Who wants to drop it? Dylan was on the phone because she said, but we have to, Bethany. I agree. Who was the most intoxicated? No, I mean alcohol-wise. Why would they call and say a female? A female was on the floor intoxicated and seen with a male. Maddie. Xana was the next. Yes, Maddie. Absolutely correct. If you looked at the autopsy and if you looked at the actual blood alcohol concentration, it was Maddie. Xana blood alcohol concentration was a little bit less than Maddie's. I believe like 0.60 or something. Way less. Maddie was the most intoxicated. And this document clearly states that dispatch advised there was a male seen in the room with the female last night. Who was that male if Maddie was the most intoxicated? Maddie wasn't waking up. Who was the male? Maddie was very intoxicated. Where's the male? Is the male at the grub truck maybe? Did you guys notice or see anything at the corner club that maybe would make you think that maybe somebody slipped or something, or she was just intoxicated? My only thought was that she was just more intoxicated and people knew this. People knew this. Maybe her ex. Possible. I mean, these are all great suggestions. I mean, keep them coming. Who else would have known at the time? Jack Showalter would have known, absolutely. Katovich, was he at the grub truck? Was Jack still interested in Maddie? I don't know. Did Jake and Maddie break up and it wasn't like common? Dylan knew JS. Yeah, they partied in their little circle. He seemed to follow her around. Maddie Mogan and Maddie Moy's ex. Oh. Wow, beautifully broken. You always contribute so much to our chat. Gower? I wonder. Honestly, I think Jake saw Kaylee's Snapchat. That's interesting. Katovich made the sleep sign at the grub truck. He sure did. This is very interesting. If anyone, it was Showalter. That's what the Hollyberry UK says. Gorgeous picture. Now, I don't know. Kopaka may have been at the bar also. Absolutely. Was he interested in Kaylee or Maddie? Possible. The dispatcher changed words. She said unconscious instead of pass out and man in the room from what Dylan said. That's love and other habits. Okay, so if we look at this way, that there was a female passed out from intoxication and not waking up. And then they say there was a male seen in the room with the female. They're talking about the same female that was passed out from intoxication. And who was the male? A short time later, dispatch advised the female was not conscious and not breathing. But here's the deal. Yeah, but if Jake seen the Snapchat and seen Jack Showalter with them, it's possible Jake was... See, but JS was supposed to be watching the girls for Jake, allegedly. Do you think the guy at the bar looks like the guy who walked around the house the night of the murders? No, I don't think so. I didn't think so at all. Number 9 was Katovich. Well, remember, guys, in my file, let me just grab it so you guys see it. In my file, here is the list of what the MPD was working on. JK is listed as involved. We don't know how involved. We don't know how involved at all. JK and JK, both 2 JKs. So here's the deal. We look at all these people who are involved, which we all know are frats, probably by their initials. We know most of them. We know the chicken guy is there. We know DL. You know, I had a dream last night, folks. You guys, I can't make this shit up. I had a dream last night that the writing on the table was Loach. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. I know you guys know. I know. And think about all the people that left that town ASAP. All the people that left that town that know what happened. Think about it. And I'm not just saying this to say this. This is actually, I had a dream last night. And I'll show you the picture. I'm sure you've seen it. Everybody has seen it going around. Everybody sees it going around. And I thought, who left out of town? Who left out of town? And they never give us the order of anybody from these autopsies. We'll never probably even see that ever. You know, I'm not understanding that either, but allegedly there was some type of contention between, and it's rumored, I don't know how true it is, but wasn't it alleged that he went overseas? Something of that nature, and the FBI tried to go, and it is in the reports, the FBI tried to go, and his mom said he's in Spain, he won't be back. And I don't even know whatever happened to that, because I don't think there was any follow-up, because they named Koberger, and that was the end of that. Okay. There are like 4 different 911 recordings. Thank you for that. I don't know if that's true, but I believe it to be true. I believe that. And it's odd when I said, who disappeared? Who left town? Who left town? Showalter, Katovich, and Loach left town. Jack Showalter was mentioned in the MPD statements. Remember, DeCour was the number 1 suspect. It was always the ex, right? Then Loach and Katovich. Scotland. I thought Spain. Barachoa went to Spain or something like that. Sitting on the couch smoking. Yep. Yep. I think they know who did this. In my humble opinion, I believe so. In the ISP files, there is someone that is, they contacted their mother and they said he was in Spain and he wasn't going to be talking to the FBI. They offered to go over there and he basically told them, nope, you're not going over to the embassy to talk to my son. He's in school and yada, yada, yada. So he was overseas. I totally remember that. I'm just looking and seeing if I can find it real quick. I know it's in there. I read it, and I don't have my cheat sheet with me. I need to type all this up so I can find it quicker. So there was a report in there. Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate that. All the mods and myself appreciate that. So Hunter and Emily went to Mexico. I believe they did. Spain and Scotland. Yeah, they know. Lots of people scattered. Look at the ones that change behaviors. Everyone took off with no extradition. Alleged. That's all alleged. We don't know for sure. I've never seen any pictures to prove that they went. Yes, they did. Some moved to Texas. Some moved to Florida, and some went to California. Thank you, Caleb. We know that a few went to Texas. Lauda went to Florida. Loach is now in, where is he at? He's in Georgia. Loach is in Georgia. Here we go. He's in Georgia right here by his own words. Woodstock, Georgia. And Lauda is in, hold on. He is in Florida, I believe. Isn't he in Florida? Adam Lauda, where is he at? Where'd he go? Hold on. He was in Florida, I guess. Did he go private? Oh, no, here he is. Found him. Yep, he's in Florida. Sarasota, Florida. That's where he is. Wanted to be a commercial pilot. And where is, he has a new girlfriend. JD? Yeah, JD does. Where did Barry? Barry was in Idaho. Remember, he just recently was chastised and fired from his job for speaking out on the Charlie Kirk incident. This is Toes. Okay, got you, Toes. Yeah, he was working. Yep, Florida's. Yep, that's where he is in Florida. And I don't know where. Let me see if I can find the other guy. Hold on. Let's see. Nope, he's still in Moscow, Idaho, according to Coeur d'Alene. Jack is still in Coeur d'Alene. They were all, well, Jack was Sigma Chi, Loach was Sigma Chi, and Adam was not. So what is that? Where does that bring us to? What do we do? How do we get this information out there? We keep sharing. Obviously, Bethany's in Nevada. Everyone was involved somehow, some way. Now, when you look at this and we go back to this MPD document, let's get to the next portion of it. Y'all ready to flip? It's coming. As I arrived, Officer Nunez advised over the air it appeared to be a homicide. Okay, because remember, Nunez already went upstairs, and this is confirmed in the law and crime video. This is Nunez. He's already arrived. He went upstairs. He looked at the crime scene. He was disgusted, and they redacted a little bit portion of it right. Of course, they blocked it out, but you can hear Hunter say, I went in and checked to see if she was breathing. He knows she's not breathing.
And I didn't check them yet, but I'm 13.
He's disgusted. Get out. He's disgusted with what he sees. He didn't even go in the freaking bedroom, guys. He didn't even go in. Okay? He stood at the doorway. You saw that. They redacted a little bit. He didn't even go in. He could see that it was a freaking bloodbath. Okay? Now, listen how Hunter, listen to him ramble. And I checked to see if she was breathing. And I didn't check him yet. There's a freaking bloodbath there.
I'm 13.
Now, nowhere in evidence even shows anyone tracked anything. So how did a latent print get in front of Dylan's door?
Okay, get back.
This cop's disgusted. He's disgusted. Now listen to what he says to his partner.
I don't know if we're still in here yet. I grabbed the knife. 1370.
He's just rambling.
Okay, stay back there, please.
There's no way Hunter made that print. He is standing second floor. There's no way he stopped by Dylan's door. Nobody has tracked blood. Chris Watts stance. He's disgusted.
Slow down.
Slow down.
It's a. Just
Yeah, because he doesn't want him to track anything. Slow down. Take a minute.
come here. There's two.
It's bad.
Looks like fatalities.
2 fatalities. Okay, so that report is pretty accurate. So when Nunes advised over the air, it appeared to be a homicide. I saw a small group of females outside of the home in the parking lot. We know that for sure because we saw it on the video. Then he says, one female advised their roommate was on the second floor and needed help. Well, which one female was that? Bethany? Was that Bethany that walks over there and says, hey, somebody in there needs help? Is that when Bethany walked over and he's just kind of summarizing what happened? So I went back and remember when they walk up,
You know that.
Jenna and Bethany, right?
Okay. Here.
There they are.
Can you guys go over to the dumpster for me, please?
Tells them to go back. All right. Now, then it goes on to say, I went to Officer Nunes' location at the west bedroom on the second floor and passed a male in the living room, later identified as Hunter Johnson. We just saw that. Officer Nunes advised the female and a male in the bedroom had blood on them and appeared to be beyond help. This was the officer's assessment. Okay? Now tell me, do tell me, how in the world did Hunter not see this? How did he check their pulse? How did he relay this information? How in the world? How? They were beyond help. I walked out of the bedroom towards Johnson and saw a clean steak knife on the beer pong table. I pointed the knife out to Nunes. Okay? He pointed the knife out to Nunes. We saw him right here. Walks out. Okay, saw it, got it, check, that seems legitimate. Now, we saw the steak knife. We don't know if it was clean or not. They took that steak knife into evidence. They never gave us a conclusion if it was tested in forensics or not. And so then he takes the narrative and he says this. Jay Johnson said he got the steak knife from the kitchen because he arrived and saw the female on the bedroom floor covered in blood and did not know if there was anyone else present in the room. Jay said he checked the room with the knife for protection. Well, where was Ethan? Did Hunter not see? Did Hunter not see Ethan? I mean, clearly, Officer Nunez and this guy, they walk into the room and they see a female on the floor covered in blood. They saw a male in the bedroom had blood on them, and they both appeared to be beyond help. So why did they make up the story that they were what? What was the key? That there was a female passed out, intoxicated. And the night before that, there was a male in the room with this female. Make this make sense. If Maddie got home and passed out from intoxication and wasn't waking up, who was the man in the room with the female last night? Are they talking about Maddie and a strange man? Or are they talking about Xana and Ethan? Somebody called in and didn't give a name. How in the world did we miss it? I've heard this rumor. I don't know if it's true. I know there was pictures that they posted up on Instagram that said Hunter left his phone here and we took pictures. I saw that. And this is something that I'm starting to do myself with the evidence. Now, remember, yesterday I showed you that little small interview with Dr. Turvey with the crime scene analysis. Do y'all remember that? This is the one I'm talking about. Hold on.
Where the police are made a lot of mistakes, or where they're not putting a lot of effort, or they're not actually doing their job, the family has the only power to come forward. And it's because this is true, police agencies will often have somebody who sidles themselves up with the family to keep them quiet. Okay, now we're friends, we're doing this for you, it's going to be helpful. The biggest thing you can do right now is just keep your cool, not say anything, don't do any reviews, don't cause any problems. What they mean is
don't cause any problems
for us, because we're not doing our job. Do anything, keep your mouth shut. That is the biggest mistake that families make. Families have the only right to come forward and to speak to the press and say, my son, my daughter, my husband, my wife deserves justice.
And I believe that is what, obviously, the G family has been trying to do for so long, is to share information to get justice. So how did we miss this all along? And yes, Caleb is right. Good Samaritan laws grant immunity. And in fact, the complainant in this call was Bethany. Bethany probably is the one as the complainant that got immunity. And that is the reason probably why she got it in writing that she would never be arrested, even if there was something nefarious that happened allegedly. Now, asserting that, I believe Hunter was accounted for a lot earlier than that, unaccounted for. Because in the book, if you remember, let me send this screenshot to myself because I always flipped out when I saw this. Always. There is something so odd about, obviously this book must be fictional mixed in with some truth to it. I've always thought so. And that is the James Patterson book. Let me grab the time frame real quick. Time frame in in Hunter locking the door at 3 a.m. I've always thought this to be odd. Do y'all agree? Was that statement at 3 a.m. just a little odd? Let me grab it. The timeline. I didn't intend on sharing this, so if we're live and I do a live dig, I apologize. Let me just do a 3 a.m. search. And I wish I would have wrote down the page and the chapter. Let me see. Hold on. Let me do a search. Here it is. Hunter. I believe it's also in the Amazon documentary. Isn't that correct? I think it's the, see, he locks the front door. Chapter 7. And it's weird because, you know, Hunter Johnson. I searched for Hunter and it brought up Hunter Chapin. Hold on. There it is. You know, they give he gives a timeline in this book, which is just outrageous. So I want to share this. I want to share these two pieces of information. And this is 4 pages. Hold on. I'm going to share this. Let me see if I can put it up on the screen. One, two, three. I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. All right. This is from One Night in Idaho, the James Patterson book. And let me just take a look at this. Let me get this up on the screen for you. I've always thought this was odd. I don't know. How many of you read that? Drop a 1 if you read it. Anybody? Kind of gives me an idea of who's read it. Okay, here we go. Let me put this in order. Okay, 2. I'll start at 11 p.m. Oh, here it is. Okay, so let me start here. This is crazy. Let me see. Let me see if you guys can see this. Yeah, you guys can see this. Let's start here at the 11 p.m. So basically it starts out with Ethan is texting back and forth with Hunter Johnson. And he's basically saying, where are you? Ethan texts Hunter Johnson and Emily. Emily is asleep in bed. And this is before 11 p.m. Okay. Exhausted after her day working the football game. Hunter Johnson texts Ethan that he'll be over when she wakes up. He doesn't feel comfortable leaving her. But unusually for a Saturday night, Josie and Linda are also home asleep at the Whites in Josie's bedroom next to Emily. It's been a hard 24 hours of partying. Now, this is what led me to go down the rabbit hole to find out if Josie and Emily lived at the Whites, in which they never had an address for the Whites. They had an address for the 1118 King Road, which is all public information. All public. So 11 p.m. Ethan thinks about who else in his friends group is missing from the Sigma Chi party. His sister. You are so lame, he texts her. He hates being separated from her. Maisie doesn't see the text until the next day when it's too late. Now, Why would she go to the Sigma Chi party? I don't know. But this is where it gets good. Sunday, November 13th, 12 a.m. In downtown Moscow, Kaylee, Maddie are together, jammed inside the Corner Club, a popular bar the size of a 3-car garage. The Corner Club is always packed, but on game day, it's heavying. It might be a windowless box, but it's a Moscow's windowless box. This is a small college town where people look out for one another. Mark, the club's owner, keeps a careful eye on customers. He's been in business too long to make rookie mistakes, which meaning underage drinking like Dylan and Bethany won't pass the Moscow cops' strict protocols about IDs. A team of kids from Greek life work together at the bar. Who works there? The other day I showed you Nate that lived at 1127 with JD and Adam Lauda. Adam and Nate worked at the Corner Club. Showed you those pictures yesterday or the day before. And anyone who's getting sloppy or might need to get home or be thrown out, they do what they got to do. And one of, obviously, who works there is Adam Lauda, a friend of the fraternity brother and roommate of Kaylee's ex, Jack. The best friends had had enough. They were tired and hungry. So, and a little bit more inebriated. I told Adam everything Maddie says of Kaylee's quandary with Jack at 1:20 a.m. Here's the next page. Let me grab it. All right. So then they go 1:30 a.m. Kaylee throws up her hands, concerned that Maddie has overshared with Adam, the guy behind the bar. The friends swerve as they make an 8-minute walk to Main Street, where the grub truck is always parked. Food. They need food. 1:30. At the grub truck, Kaylee orders a carbonara mac and cheese for her and Maddie to share. They know the guy in the hoodie who's standing behind them is Jack Showalter. Remember, we talked about this picture. I think, in my humble opinion, for some reason, that the person sitting down at the Corner Club is not Jack Decor. I don't think so. And here's why I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you the picture again. They blurred his face out in this one. I don't know why. Wrong picture. Let me grab the right one. They've blurred his face out. Now, I'm going to tell you why I don't think this is Jack Decor. I know we had a long talk about this on our members only stream, and let me tell you why. I think this is, in my humble opinion, it looks like Brent Kopaka. We talked about the shape of his head, his nose, his height. This is a grown man she's talking to. And in the document, Jack Showalter is here in this. It's odd. They blurred out everybody's face except this guy right here in the front. See that guy? They never blocked out his face. But then we see Adam Lauda in the corner, Jack Showalter here. Now, the reason I don't think this is Jack Decor, 2 reasons. One, in the statement, the official police statement, Jack said, I only talk with Kaylee and Maddie for a minute. They don't look uncomfortable. And to me, in the footage, this specific picture only, it looks like maybe they were comfortable talking to this guy. Right. He was a little heftier. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to share the rest of this. And then I want to go look at that new footage that came out real quick on the fly. So they know the guy in the hoodie who's standing behind them is Jack Showalter. He's an occasional visitor to King Road, which he's partied there. He's a good guy, they think. I don't know why he put they think. The girls flirt with him a little. Kaylee asks if he's interested in going to another party somewhere, but he's tired. He's tired. What? Speaking of, so are they. It's been a long day. They need a ride home. Kaylee texts a designated sober driver. Now, why would he say a sober driver instead of a private driver. What? Okay. Hunter Johnson texts Ethan at 1:50 and asks if he's still going to the Sigma Chi party. Emily is asleep. 1:56. Kaylee and Maddie head back to King Road. This is the kicker. They chat in the living room. Remember, Dylan said they went upstairs. They chat in the living room. Dylan is in her room wasted. Bethany is in her room asleep. 2:00. Ethan responds to Hunter Johnson, and he and Xana are still at Sigma Chi at 2:00. Okay? Approximately 2:15 a.m., Xana and Ethan return home. How did this book writer know this and the police keep asking for more information? How did he know this? Don't know, but apparently even Dylan says all four of them were home. Okay. 2:15 a.m. Kaylee and Maddie chat on the couch a little longer and then go upstairs and collapse in Maddie's bed. This is what the book says, folks. The book. Now, just keeps getting worse from here. Murphy, Kaylee's Golden, is in Kaylee's room. Kaylee often leaves them when she's out. I come home and take my pet out right away. I don't know about you. If I put my pet in a cage, he gets out immediately. Okay? So, for the umpteenth time, Kaylee tells her friend she's unsure about what to do with Jack, her ex. We'll go to the next one. All right, 2:26 a.m. Let's make sure I put this up here for you. Kaylee wants Jack to come over. She misses him. She wants him to come over. 2:26. Kaylee phones Jack. He's asleep and doesn't hear her call. She calls a second time. She calls a third time, a fourth time, a fifth. Kaylee calls Jack a sixth time at 2:44 a.m. How accurate is this? How accurate is this? Then he falls asleep through all of them, blissfully unaware of the imminent danger. Jack fell asleep. Fell asleep. 2:52, Kaylee tries Jack one last time. Now get this. We know at 2:52, something has to have happened. Then it says at 3 a.m., Emily wakes up at the Whites. So do Josie and Lyndon. Where's Hunter? No mention of where Hunter is. So Josie realizes she left her phone in the car. She goes outside and gets it. It's foggy and thinks it's dark and quiet. What? When she comes back, Hunter gets up and locks the door to the apartment. He doesn't know why. He's never done that before. He and Emily go to sleep. Doesn't mention where Hunter is. Crazy. And then they say Xana orders Jack in the Box from DoorDash in Pullman, the only place open at that hour. Somebody told me it was Wendy's yesterday. I can't make this shit up. Xana's food arrives. It ought to be the ordinary end of an ordinary game day, except for Maddie, Kaylee, Ethan, and Xana. It isn't. Dylan's laying in her bed, drifting in and out from the post-game day sleep. The walls of her bedroom are so paper thin that earlier Dylan could almost hear everything they were saying as they were chatting in the living room. How is this possible that somebody could be hearing the people talk but not hear them being murdered? How is this possible? This does not make sense. This time has never made sense to me. If you agree, say yes. This time has never made sense. The story has never made sense. How did we miss this? Where did we miss this? At what time did this male be seen in the room with the female last night? Who saw them? There was blood everywhere. People saw the freaking crime scene. They saw it. Then he says, Officer Nunez and I walked to the first floor entrance with Hunter. I asked the females in H if there was anyone else in the apartment. They didn't know. I told Officer Nunez the home was not secure, so we started the process of clearing it. Then they find on the third floor the two females laying in the bed. How, who, what, where, why? Where? Was Hunter out partying? I don't know. I wonder if he went there while Emily was asleep. Has he ever left before when Emily was asleep? It was loud. How could they not hear their freaking friends being injured or harmed? I don't know, folks. I'm going to go over and look at the new video that just dropped, or somebody had it, with Brent Kopaka. Has anybody seen that video? I have not seen it. I guess it's body cam of him in a hotel. I don't know. Let me look. Body cam. Anybody know who had it? I've set some info. Okay, let me see on my Instagram. Hold on. Oh my God. Brian Enton is reporting 2 deadlines in Nancy Guthrie ransom note. First was today at 5. Did he miss the memo that the FBI arrested the fake ransom note people? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. That is wild. Okay, let me see if I could find this. Where is it? Swatted. I don't see either Christy or Connor. Let me look at Connor first. Connor. I didn't see anything new on Connor's. Let me just check it out real quick. Oh, I don't see it there. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's see if this is it. This is Christy's Chaos. Brent Kopaka. Let's see.
What's your name? There is no smoke or anything. Medics can come in.
It's chaos with some snark on the side.
Let me turn it up to see what I could hear.
I'm at room 315. Can you sit down for me?
Yeah, it's burning floor. I don't know what it is, but
Do you take anything tonight?
no, nothing at all. No drinking, nothing.
Sierra 331.
Can you sit on your butt for me? Yeah.
So this is 5 months before.
Or anything. Medics can come in and evaluate.
Yeah, but whatever it is, it's serious. I had the window open.
Do you need to go?
Yeah.
Do you want to see the medics?
No, I think that should be okay, but what was it?
What?
What was it? What was it that he put
Do you? I don't see anything.
This is
Do you want us to check the room?
They're full of whatever he put on the door.
Do you want us to check the room? Okay.
Yeah, and the bags never come. Chemo, the towels and stuff, and they're still, they've never risen. He definitely put something on the floor.
Who's he?
Oh, that's like something somebody. Where did he go?
There was a.
You guys don't believe me, do you?
Is your name Brent or Brett?
Brent.
Brent? Can you tell me who he is?
So he is my ex-girlfriend's sister's brother.
Your ex-girlfriend's sister's brother. Does he have a name?
I don't remember.
Did you see him tonight?
No.
Okay.
I refuse to look out the door.
Why do you believe it's him?
Because he's been, his girlfriend has been trying to, he's done this one once. So,
Okay.
So, he's just really upset at me. He's, like I said, to this one else, and I just can't believe he doesn't believe me.
And what do you believe that he did tonight?
I watched, so I put a towel there, and all of a sudden, the house started looking around. I put it, and it was like grass, and it hurt me, and the smell like, it was kind of chemical, you know. That didn't do much, but then he started, it was like dumping something. And it's not, it was there. The floor is super sticky.
Okay.
It's hot. Like, look at him, it's hot.
We can go inside and look if that'd be all right with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you don't have your room key?
Yeah. We'll go get that.
Where are you going?
To go get the key.
Where is it?
Anyway.
This is your room.
Yeah, I know, but I have to get it.
Where are you going to get that?
That's,
Okay.
what is he in here?
Is he in the room?
No. Look at this man. Oh, that's right.
Do you want us to go down and get your spare room key? You're kind of shaking and stuff. Is it okay if we just have medics come in, check your vitals, make sure you're doing all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
We can get the room key for you. That'd be okay. And we can check out the room, make sure everything's all right. Do you feel safe? Do you want to go get the room key? Do you feel safe staying in here tonight?
Man, that sure does not look like this guy. Oh my God. How? I mean, that's like a drastic change, depending also when this picture was taken. This doesn't even look like him. Let me show you the picture I'm talking about. Does it? I mean, I'll leave that up to you, but does that look like him? That blows my mind. That blows my mind. I've never seen this.
I mean, they were here for 3 to 4 hours, you know, trying to get me to come out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't even look like him, guys.
What are they saying?
They would do things like, wait for me to turn my light on, or they would go around with their cell phone and call mine to see if it would go off, to listen for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they would call my phone over and over again. Stuff.
There is no way that this is the same guy. This is the same stuff that we see, like Brian Koberger in 90 different pictures. There is no way that this is the same. This is probably the same guy. Now, he looks a little bit older, more grays. probably in better spirits, in my humble opinion. But this is wild. This looks more like him.
Okay. Have you had any alcohol tonight? Have you had any drugs, any narcotics, prescription medicine? Should you be taking any prescription medicine? No? Do you feel okay? Besides,
Yeah, I was just started sweating a bit and then started to breathe.
where do you live at?
Out in Pullman,
In Pullman?
1455 Northeast Bend.
What apartments are those?
The Pimlico.
Pimlico? What unit number, if you remember?
I don't remember.
Pimlico, though?
Yeah.
How long have you lived there?
Like 6 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 2 months.
Say again?
It tastes really nasty in the mouth.
Okay, hopefully we can get you some water when we go into the room. You said your name's Brent.
Yeah.
Do you have a middle L? What's your last name?
Kopak. K-O-P-A-C-K.
K-O-P-A-C-K?
Yep.
Kopak?
Yep.
Okay. What's your birthday?
10-4-86.
Do you have a license in Washington, Idaho?
Washington.
In Washington.
I mean, they were up here knocking on people's doors. I listened to what he was saying. He was saying he was just making up lies, trying to get people to get information. But no,
What information does he want?
he wanted to know. He wanted to get in the room.
In your room specifically. What did you believe he wanted in the room?
He wanted to kill him. He was saying it forever.
He wanted to kill you?
And he just got out
He got a what?
of jail for murder.
Where was that at?
I don't know that story.
You don't know where. How did you think he was going to kill you?
He was going to tell him
No, how did you think he was going to?
with the gun.
With a gun? Did he say he had a gun? He did? Did you see it? No.
I always hear it though. Like in the murder.
Where was that at?
I don't know that story.
You don't know where. How did you think he was going to kill you?
He was going to tell him
No, how did you think he was going to?
with the gun.
With a gun? Did he say he had a gun? He did? Did you see it? No?
I always hear it though. Like in the pocket.
Okay. Okay, we have the room key. Do you want to go in and we can check it?
Wow. That was Christy's Chaos. Thank you so much for that, Christy. Go and take a look at the videos that she has. She looks like she's got a couple of other good videos. So I just wanted to say, how do we know that that male was not this male? Could that have been the male that was seen? How did we miss this vital information in the beginning of the case, which they told us clearly in the documents that many of us just don't read? That dispatch advised a female was passed out from intoxication and not waking up. Dispatch advised there was a male seen in the room with a female last night. Who are they talking about, and what male was in the room with who? That possibly who was the witness that saw this? Why were they driving him mad? I've seen this before. Why would they drive a veteran mad? Why would he go to a hotel to get away from them? This does not make sense. Just another diversion or distraction, to say the least. What are your thoughts? Drop them below. I'm still waiting for my FOIA to see if any of the videos that have been released by MPD are authentic and true. He was very paranoid, an easy target. The light bulb man, possibly. You know, speaking of the light bulb man, I was looking at photos again this morning. I have got a video coming out. Let me see where I put it. Hold on one second. I got a better picture. I don't know who this is. This was in the light bulb, the reflection. And remember, a light bulb is like a security camera. It is convex. it gives you, oh my God, that was Maddie's room. That was Maddie's room. Dispatch advised a female was passed out from intoxication and not waking up. Dispatch advised there was a male seen in the room with the female last night. What the frick? Maddie was the only one that was intoxicated more than anyone else. Who made this story up? Let me read the chat for a minute. Did they redact that portion? One of the girls said last night a guy was in and was cut off by the operator, so maybe it is redacted. Yeah, I believe it is redacted. That's what we hear from the 911 call. If it's true, that is redacted. Kopaka's eye, but whose light bulb? That was Maddie's light bulb in the room, in the documents. That was the light bulb that I got the picture out of, that many have seen, that everyone has said. Dang it, I didn't want to do that. Dang it. Sorry, guys. That was my mistake. I didn't want to put that up on screen yet. I was looking for the actual picture that I took a picture of. You guys were on the live when we were going through it. Then you know what I'm talking about. It is this exact picture, which anybody can go and take a picture of the light bulbs if they're at the right angle. Convex is to show you what's on the floor, and this is the actual picture that I took it from, that a lot of people were saying, no, it's the crime scene expert. If that's the freaking crime scene expert, where is their hair covering? And why is it a man with a beard and has no cover on? And a crime scene expert has to have protective clothing, any PPE gear when doing a job like that. So that is no female. And the G's have even said, y'all, the G's have even said in their latest interview that there was a body in the pictures that wasn't supposed to be there. And then they took it down. Holy moly. Look, if you guys have not seen that video, I have it on hand real quick. Because there's something that I was listening to and wanted to make sure I understand exactly clearly what they said. And I thought for sure that this body is wrapped up in plastic, maybe. I mean, I was really trying to get deep into the woods with this photo. Really looking into it. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can get this up on the screen because it's just not loading right now. 1 minute. Hold on. Be patient with me while I grab this. All right. Here it is.
I didn't want to fight this battle for the rest of my life.
A little upset? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to fight this for the rest of my life, and I thought that more could be done. One thing Shannon did say was, Steve, that when somebody pleads for a mass murder and waives their right, never in the history have they ever had it overturned and got like a retrial. So a mass murder and then waiving your rights to the appeal means he goes away. Even though I thought, without like the details of him saying whether the murder weapon was and different things, was going to leave it open for people to, play these games in the true crime communities. So I think I'm right, but maybe in the reality of things, he's never going to get an appeal. That's not realistic. His DNA is in the crime scene, and he's never going to ever be. If he gets an appeal, then the whole world gets an appeal. All of American cases get opened up, and you have DNA at the crime. Like, literally, what are you saying? You're going to say you're going to open up every single case? Because that's really what you would do, isn't it? So,
Yeah, that's the part I don't understand. The people who it seems like they forget that
that is full of bullshit. I want to show you guys something. This is freaking amazing. I showed it to my members only this morning. I want to show it to you because I think it's important in this case. But here is wrongful conviction. This is Scary Mysteries. Listen to this and hit that thumbs up button.
2. Podcast sets men free. Journalism should be used as a means of informing the public about truth and facts. But in today's world, we're getting clicks, rules above everything else. All too often, stories in the news is being manipulated to entertain and or divide. Which is why when true journalism is done, it's our responsibility to shed light on their stories. And this is one of those examples. Back in 1996, 15-year-old Brian Bowling was on the phone with his girlfriend. He was in the bedroom of his family's trailer in Rome, Georgia. And during their conversation, he said that he was playing Russian roulette with a handgun. Shortly after, what followed was the deafening sound of a gun blast, and soon, the tragic news about the death of Brian. When police arrived to investigate, they then learned that Brian wasn't alone in that trailer that evening. There were 2 other people, Kane Story and Charlie Childers, who had impaired hearing and speech. The gun used for the game was brought to the trailer by Kane, but still the initial investigation revealed that Brian indeed shot himself, which corroborated with the previous testimony of Brian's girlfriend. However, the investigation soon took a different turn, and Brian's family insisted that Kane had something to do with the death and that they believed he had murdered young Brian. Charlie also claimed that he saw a young man named Daryl Clark running away from the trailer's backyard after the gunshot, and even picked him out of a lineup for the authorities. Then a few months later, another supposed witness named Angela Bruce came forward to say that she heard Daryl and Kane talk about killing Brian because of what he allegedly knew about a theft the 2 17-year-olds had committed. And so, due to these circumstances, the investigation turned into a homicide. Kane and were convicted of murder. They both received life sentences. More than 2 decades later, in 2021, 2 hosts of a true crime podcast called Proof focused their investigative skills on this case. Jacinta Davis and Susan Simpson managed to challenge the charges against Kane and Daryl. They also worked on uncovering the problems in the investigation, such as alleged misconduct from police officials, as well as falsified witness statements. The pair started to challenge the allegations, convictions, and testimonies that the prosecution used to convict the pair. And from this, they were ultimately able to reveal the truth about the testimony from the hearing and speech-impaired Charlie. Apparently, Charlie never actually picked Daryl from that police lineup. It was also made clear that during the trial, Charlie repeatedly said that the person he knew as Daryl was not in the courthouse despite Daryl Clark sitting right there. But because of his disabilities, it was easy to confuse people as to what he was really saying. It was later made clear that Charlie thought he was being asked about a different shooting incident that happened in the 1970s, and not Brian's case at all. Susan and Jess's testimony, Angela revealed to them that she was forced to make the false statement because she experienced repeated harassment from one of the investigators on the case. It was also later reported that there was actually no autopsy performed on Brian's body, despite having a coroner testify that Brian's gunshot wound was not self-inflicted. On top of that, that same coroner didn't have the proper medical training and instead relied on a gut feeling. The Proof podcast team, together with the Georgia Innocence Project, then presented their findings to the district attorney of Floyd County. And they had no choice but to overturn the conviction given to Daryl. Kane, on the other hand, received an amendment to his sentencing to 10 years' time served. And now, both men have been set free and are home with their families. It's a tragic story to learn about. 2 men spending half their lives in jail for a crime they didn't commit. But even more tragic is the fact that our justice system is so flawed in many ways. We're all just people, human beings created equal, and so it's always important to question what people or authorities are telling you, because you never know what their true intentions may be. So there are 2 of the most interesting cases that we have for you guys this week. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you like this episode, make sure to check out more and subscribe so you don't miss out on what's coming next.
Definitely check out Scary Mysteries. But I'm going to tell you, I just had a thought. I am going to message Proof and Jacinta Davis and Susan Simpson. One assumes everyone's guilty. The other one assumes everyone is innocent. I am going to try to reach out to them and see how and what they did and see if there's any call to action that we can do for Brian Coburn. Now, remember, I do have personally Justice for All, This is where you can educate yourself for justice for everyone. You are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That does not include a plea deal. He can always file for an appeal. He needs an attorney, a very well-versed criminal attorney in the federal court system that will be able to handle this. But I think everyone should keep doing what we've been doing for months. And that is, I had some samples up here to write the DOJ, send a couple of other different entities in Boise, Idaho, like the Innocence Project, and a couple of other major contacts that I have come across. But if you have not followed The Proof, they do have a podcast. It's really interesting. There is a little contact. I filled it out, send them a message already. And if you feel the need to, I think the more people that make this more aware to them, I think we all should probably send them a contact information. That is Proof. And it's www.proofcrimepod.com. I just put the link below. I think it would be awesome if more people would start advocating instead of just sitting around making videos talking about other creators. I think we the people, to start advocating. Now, I know I'm probably not the strongest advocator I used to be for missing people for many years, but I will say, in this instance with Brian Koberger, with the IDAHO4, I believe it is time that we have a call to action. There is immediate need for this to be under the microscope. And remember, I'm not saying that the families are involved. I'm not saying that they were coerced or, or I don't want to say complicit, but one specific family has been treated very differently than the other families, and that is the Chapin family. Did you know that Stacy and her husband Jim were awarded honorary degrees from the University of Idaho for their humanitarian efforts? Did you know that? I don't see any of the other families given anything like that. And I'm not saying they should get it, but I'm just saying many of these families were treated very differently. And we overlooked that one thing. How did we miss the actual story to what it's morphed into today? Please open your ears, be open to conversation, and just be open. We have to stand up. This could be you, your brother, your sister, your mother. It could have been me many years ago when I was accused and I was falsely arrested, but I won my case. Y'all, drop my mod some love. I just want to thank you for Sarah, for your amazing donation, your gift, and Midnight Pup. Thank you so much. We will continue to have our critical thinking, passion, and unwavering commitment to justice. That's why we all keep coming back. If it was you, I would fight just as hard. Before I lose my voice, got to take a drink of water. I'll be back tomorrow. Members only in the morning. Full public live in the afternoon. I am going to keep going. No one can shut me up. How about you? Be well. Drop some love for my mods. Enjoy the music.
February air, a winter's hush. A different kind of love, a sacred rush. For the roses is all the fleeting glance. Before the scales and a fighting chance. We're the phoenix nesters watching from the wire, seeing shadows fall, fueling the fire. Every story buried, every silent tear. Here comes a promise whispered, conquering the fear. Oh, Lady Justice, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth deflected in our eyes. We're turning the pages, breaking all the locks. This is our true crime, resetting all the clocks. They sold you a story, a neatly packaged lie, but the threads are unraveling under a watchful sky. From the cold case files to the digital trace, we're finding a heartbeat in this forgotten space. Oh, Lady Taro space, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. Return the pages, breaking all the locks. This is a true crime, resetting all the clocks. From the ashes of silence, a new day is born. For every lost soul, a promise is sworn. The blindfold is lifted, steady and slow. A garden of justice is starting to grow. Shift to arise, pure justice. Lady Justice.
Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.